Chad, welcome back to the YouTube channel, Chad's Van Life. This is my 2014 Chevy Express that I live in and travel in. I am back on my land. I'm back out here in Roswell, New Mexico, and I've got some important updates that I want to bring your way. Not just on the van, but the property. Being back here in Roswell, you know, I'd left Scottsdale, Arizona, went to Denver, Colorado, up to Rapid City, South Dakota, and then shot down about 850 miles to my property here in Roswell, New Mexico. So if you haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe. I want to go over a few things first before I get into the other big news and details. I want to go over some things and changes I made on the van. I had it back here. Now, when I scaled the van at a cat scale, if you look in my previous video, and when I was up at Love's, I was about 4,040 pounds over the rear axle. And so to not overload the rear axle, I've taken some things out, made some changes in the van. I've also moved the generator now to the front. As you see, I also built an enclosure, so I want to show you the generator enclosure also. Now, one of the benefits of having my generator up here now at the front of the van is in the morning when I want to start the generator, I can just from inside the van step up, and right here I can start the generator without having to get out of the van, walk around to the back of the van, climb up and start the generator. I can do it right here. I open up the door. First, let's take a look at how I mounted the solar panel. Let's turn this off. Yes, I also have the passenger seat back in the van. I've moved the refrigerator and the kitchen set up and put the seat back in the van. But what I did is, so the door would clear the jam, I just drilled right here so these hooks would go through, and it just drills into the into the gutter rail here. That's all. I just drilled into the gutter rail, and they're just mounted with these here, so it's on there real good and secure. So to get into the van, this is how I do it. I step up onto the door and then up here like that when I need to get up here. Now that we're up here on the roof, we can take a look at this generator setup. The reason I moved the solar panels and everything, you can see this on the van. All this reflective has peeled. It's gotten oil and gas and stuff on it. So I gotta scrape this all up, degrease and clean and paint the roof of the van, and then put new reflective up here eventually. So that's another project to work on. Okay, so now this generator box that I built, let's take a look at this thing. So now that we're up here and get a better look at it, it's 1/2-inch plywood. I measured it to the width of this Harbor Freight cargo rack. Now, people have been asking me how I've got this all set up. This is a Harbor Freight aluminum cargo hitch rack that goes in your trailer hitch. I've taken the hitch out of it. The hitch bolts underneath it in the middle. There's no hitch in it. And instead, you can see right here, if you can see here, I got a bolt here, I just drilled and bolted right here into this rib, which is a strong rib support. You can see right here into the van. The bolt there, bolts in the middle, and bolts over here on this side, same thing. So it's just bolted down. Now, this generator box I built, let's take a look at this thing. It's made of 1/2-inch plywood, so I went to Home Depot. They had small boards of it, 1/2-inch plywood, and I cut it, ripped it to 20 inches wide, I believe it was, and 20 inches high, so I made sides. I got some aluminum, is what this is, aluminum angle iron, and cut it and bolted, so it's all bolted. In fact, I'm going to put more bolts. I got to go to Home Depot, get some more bolts. I want to bolt it so it's real nice and strong, and put some more bolts. So, it is a very strong box. It's all 1/2-inch plywood, and it came from where they got those small sheets of plywood at Home Depot. Some inch angle iron, some angle iron here, you see, and then bolted, drilled and bolted it. It is a strong box. I've taken it down the highway, This thing's all bolted. So, to change the oil in the generator, or when you need to service the generator, there's a bolt here, a bolt on that side on this angle iron. Once you undo these bolts that is hooked to this cargo rack, this whole box will come right off. So it's bolted here, here, and on the other side. So 4 bolts, you know, and this whole top comes off. The generator itself is also secured with ratchet straps to the cargo rack. So if you got to brake hard or something, I mean, this thing is not going anywhere. And now how I have this up with this fuel tank, for people who are wondering about that, it's a 10-gallon poly fuel tank. I made all these brackets here. Now it came with these, but I made these brackets, which was just some Home Depot steel. And I bolted and drilled it to this cargo rack. So it's just bolted. Oh, let's see. I don't know if you can get under there and you can see it, but yeah, you can see it there. It's bolted here. Bolted to this, into this cargo rack. So everything's bolted to the cargo rack. And that's very strong and secure. Filter here. On the, when it comes out of the tank, I've got a fuel filter. It goes to this 12-volt pump. And the output has a fuel filter. So you got a fuel filter on the input from the fuel tank, and I put a fuel filter in line from the pump to the carburetor. So instead of the fuel line from the gas tank on the generator going to the carburetor, I took the gas line off and instead just hooked this gas line. It's a 12-volt fuel pump, and it's powered by the 12-volt output right here on the generator. Ground and power in. When you start the generator, it turns on the pump. The pump automatically adjusts the pressure. I think it's a 3 psi pump. And I've had this set up for like 2 years. Look inside the van, the new layout. You can see I've moved the refrigerator back inside the van here. And I like it there a lot better because now I've got sort of a second shelf, you see, to set things on. When I'm cooking something, I can set things here, you know, on top of the refrigerator when I take it out of the oven, so I'm not crowding up my small, you know, there's not much room in a van. So if we go in the van, you can see here's my bed right here. And, you know, so this table, sometimes I got my computer up here and stuff. And so this is a lot better. I can cook something right here, set it here, you know, a pizza, I can set right here on a piece of cardboard, something like that. And that, you know, works a lot better. And this is the diesel. Well, we're in here. We'll take a look. This is the diesel heater right here behind the passenger seat, behind this wall here. And I bought these at Home Depot because this used to blow the heat straight out. It never really worked that well blowing the heat straight out. And now with the refrigerator here, I definitely don't want this thing blowing heat into the overheating, you know, the cooling on the refrigerator. But I was able to find these. They're 1.25 inches. I didn't even glue them on. I just set them on there. What are these? These are inch. You can see right there. 1.25 inches. And they fit really good. Pretty good and tight. I don't think you need even glue or anything on them. So you can take them off if you need to. If you don't want them. If you're not using the heater in the summer. And you can take them off and store them. Or whatever you got to do. And of course, this is my back here. Power Queen 200 amp hour battery and all the fuse blocks and stings and inverter right here. And that is a look at the inside of my van. 100 miles from here is the Carlsbad Caverns. So if you're like me and you travel with a motorcycle, you can, you know, today, I mean, it's November. It's just before Thanksgiving, a couple days before Thanksgiving. And it's about 70 degrees right now. What's nice about Roswell is a 3,500 foot elevation. It gets cold at night. But during the day, I mean, it can be sunny and 70 degrees. You're not near the ocean where you have that marine layer or anything. You're just out in the desert. And the summers can be hot, but it can be cold, you know, at night. The temperature drops because of the 3,500 foot elevation. That's kind of, you know, it's not extreme like people buying land up in Flagstaff area. You know, they get extreme weather up there. Very cold in the winter. Snow, they've already had snowstorms up there. In fact, a lot of people can't even get to their properties that buy land out there because the weather is so extreme, because the elevations are so high. So you're in a mild climate here. So yeah, you can go to the Carlsbad Caverns. You got another vehicle with you. You offload your motorcycle. You can go to Roswell, go to Farley's. Enjoy Roswell. Go to the UFO Museum. And check out the rest of the series on my van life and some of the places I've gone. Look at the channel. I put my bus builds up there. I lived out here in my Greyhound bus. I've talked about my bus in other videos. My Silver Eagle. I still got that bus build on schooly.net. And in the About section of my channel, I put the link to the bus build I did back in, I think it was 2011. I put another link to a school bus build I had. I had a school bus, and I used to build that stuff out here on my land. So thanks for watching, and check out the rest of the channel.